Hello and welcome to another edition of PVMU's Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Caleb Carter, and today joining me, we have two players from the soccer team. We have Miss Victoria Cobbs and we have Miss Armani Moore. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Okay, that's great. Now, you guys both are freshmen, so I guess my first question to you guys would be, and I guess Miss Victoria, we can start with you. What brought you to PV?
What brought me to PV was, I think, just the environment, and Coach saw me at a bowling tournament.
Okay.
And so I think that's what brought me to PV, the bowling and the atmosphere of PV.
Miss Amani?
I'd say definitely, I like being with my own people and just, a different demographic. So that, and then it's not too far from where I live. So it's a good option.
Right. And I'm sorry, I wanted to correct myself. I messed your name up earlier, Miss Victoria Kobos. Let me get that right. But you both talked about what brought you to PV, and you spoke on how Coach White saw you at a bowling tournament. And I was reading up on you guys in your bios, and I noticed that both of you have had some pretty good success in bowling before coming to PV. So I guess we're gonna start with you, Miss Amani. What made you get interested in bowling?
My dad was actually a big factor in that. He was the one who told me scholarships are really good in bowling, and it's not as popular of a sport, so you have a better chance of getting a higher scholarship.
Right.
And after that, it just kind of took off. I've been doing it since I was about 9, and just kept developing it ever since then.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same for me. My dad really brought me into the sport. I always watched him in leagues, and I was like, well, I want to bowl. So I joined a league also when I was very young. I was 7 years old, and from there I just kept on bowling. I love it. Okay,
that's good to hear, because I know, speaking on me personally, bowling is one of those sports where it's just hard to get, right? I play it recreationally, and I do terribly, right? Bowl a 75 or whatever, and you guys are professionals in that sense. But I guess my next question to you guys would be, right, because this is your first season here, your freshman year. So how has it been, getting acclimated to all that PV bowling has to offer?
You want to go first?
You got it.
Okay. I think for me, it was a little bit challenging because I'd never been in a team where that was like this, because we didn't have high school bowling where I'm from. So going into a new environment like this was very different, but I think now both of us have really gotten acclimated to it, and we're ready to go into next season.
Right.
For me, just like Victoria said, I didn't have a high school team either. So just, being able to be on a team was definitely a adjustment, but it's an adjustment that I've loved. You have a community, you have a team. It's not just you anymore.
Right. And we talk about being on a team because, the bowling team is a great team here at PV. You got so many standout players. Just to name a few, you got Crystal Klein, Asia Wren, Stephanie Vasquez. Just great bowlers. They're just great at what they do. And you talked about that adjustment period of being on that team. So how has it been, bowling with them, learning from them, and just that whole aspect?
It's definitely been great. It's good to have great players to look up to. They really push you to do your best, and can't slack with them. Right. You have to really try your best so you fit in with the grind that they're doing.
Now, Ms. Kobos, I wanted to ask you a question about Coach White, right? Because I've been able to talk with him a few times, and he seems to be a great guy and a great coach. He always talks about keeping the players level-headed, making sure you guys are calm heading into those bowling tournaments. So I guess talk a little bit about Coach White and what he provides to you, as a player.
I feel like he does give us some encouragement, of having a strong mental game, because this game is all about having a strong mental game.
Right.
Your physical game is one aspect, but I feel like your mental game is it's more important, because if you're not on, or you're not, let's say you're missing spares or something like that, if you just lose your mental game, you can kind of just forget, I think, and stuff like that.
And I wanted to do a quick follow-up on that, because you talk about how bowling is such a mental sport. And it truly is, because you have to block out of the noise. Although it's a team sport, you need to hone in on what you're doing. It's a lot of muscle memory when you go into those lanes and try to pick up, those spares, like you said, those strikes, what you're going for. So I guess for you, Miss Amani, how is it going into those tournaments, just getting your head right?
For me, I have a different routine. I like to listen to music that like gets me pumped up
Okay.
and makes me confident. And I just talk to my team and like, talk to them and let them know like, okay, I have nerves, but you guys are gonna help me like
Right.
calm them down, and they always do. So just that helps a lot.
Okay, now little insight. Who do you listen to on getting ready for the tournaments?
Oh, that's hard. I feel like I take a little bit from everybody, but I think Stephanie helps me most with the nerves because I feel like we just relate on that aspect a bit more.
Right. I'm sorry. Let me make that a little bit clear. What artists do you listen to? You say you listen to music. No, you're fine.
I thought, okay. Well, I listen to like Demi Lovato or, I don't know, Ozzy Osbourne, just whatever is going to pump me up in that moment.
I really, especially with Ozzy, getting pumped up for that moment. But to you, Ms. Cobos, I guess my question to you, because going through this first season, it like you said, it's been an adjustment period for you guys. So I guess what would you say has been your favorite memory, being a part of the bowling team?
It's kind of hard. Us as a team, we all have made like pretty fun memories, but I think just at our first SWAC roundup, it was very fun. We just tried to keep it like the energy light and have fun, and that was like I think one of the most fun times for me.
Now, quick question for both of you, because we talked a little bit off camera about you guys as majors. You're like me, mass communication, and you're a biology major. I mean, this is some pretty rigorous programs. So I guess my question to you would be, because the bowling team, they have a high standard when it comes to academic success, and so how do you maintain that academic success, right, while also being on the bowling team? And I guess Miss Moore, we can start with you.
It definitely takes a lot of dedication and commitment. You can't like just kind of expect things to fall into place. You have to work for them. So you have to allocate time for both so you can be successful in both.
Right.
And you just kind of got to work around your schedule, make time for practice, and make time for your major.
Right. Ms. Cobos?
I think for me, especially like this, my first year here, I did a lot of online classes, but we do study hall, so that also gives us time to make sure we are actually working. It forces us kind of to make sure we're working. And I think just making sure that you're on task, you're following your schedule and things like that, and still making time for you and practicing and all that, it's very important.
Right. Now, I guess to begin to wrap things up, because I mean this season it was a pretty good season. You guys won the regular season title, but you guys ended up falling just a bit short in the SWAC tournament. So I guess looking back at this season and looking forward into next season, what can we expect from the bowling team come next season? Ms. Cobos, let's start with you.
Well, for me, I've already started to work towards next year because we always want to be better, and we all are constantly pushing each other to be the best we can because we all want it very much. So I think just making sure we're working on the things that we need to for next year is going to make us a stronger team.
Ms. Moore?
I agree. Just going through the year, we kind of saw our challenge spots or our successful spots, so we just work on the challenge spots and be ready for next year.
Right. And I mean, you guys have a lot of room, to improve. I mean, a lot of room for growth. I mean, you guys are freshmen. You still, maturing in the game. I know Coach White is gonna be able to instill in you guys some of what he would have you to do and what he would like for you guys to see on the in between the lanes. But I mean, it was great talking with the both of you. It was nice meeting the both of you. Thank you again for joining the Coach's Corner. And to be honest with you, I can't wait to see what the bowling team has to offer come next season. I mean, I'm a fan of the bowling team personally. I know everybody here at KPVU-TV is a fan of the bowling team, so I can't wait to see what you guys do specifically next bowling season. And thank you again for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Now, that was Ms. Victoria Cobos and Ms. Amani Moore. Coming up next, we're going to be talking with the soccer player, Ms. Megan Howell. Stay tuned. This is Coach's Corner. Hello and welcome back to PVAMU's Coach's Corner. Joining me right now, we have a player from the soccer team, Miss Megan Howell. Megan, how you doing today?
I'm good. Happy to be here.
All right, we're glad to have you here. And I mean, my first question to you would be, because I know you transferred from Jackson State just this past year. So what made you, transfer from Jackson State and come to PV?
Well, sorry, can we start over? We can't.
No, you're fine. You trust me.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So I definitely wanted to improve as a player, and I knew that talking with the coaching staff that I'd be able to do that right away.
Right.
And after the first few days in preseason, just playing with the girls, I knew that this was the place to be.
Now I know you being from Canada and you transferring to Prairie View, that takes an adjustment. It comes with an adjustment period.
Yes.
But I know one thing that probably made it easier for you was Coach Carvello being from Canada, along with a few other players on the team being from Canada. So how has that helped you, just get acclimated to PV and the soccer team?
Yes, I think that just that chemistry, building that chemistry together and knowing that we come from the same place, we can definitely build a relationship on that, and just Coach definitely helped me out as well. So,
Right. Now, because it was pretty odd seeing, because this being your first year, most first year players, coming to a new school, they don't win the SWAC championship in their first year. So I just want to know, how was that going through the SWAC championship and being able to win that in your first year here?
No, it was good to see like all the work that we did leading up to it and the goals that we made together. I think it was honestly a memory that I'm always going to remember here, and it's probably one of the best memories that I've had here. Just building that chemistry in practice and seeing that, like, how we move the ball come to play. It was really good to see.
Right.
And get that result.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I guess my next question to you would be, because I mean, you guys had a fantastic team, a fantastic season last year. I mean, and you guys are going to have a lot of seniors and graduate students leaving the team. Quinn Josiah, Kalia Brown, just to name a few. So how is it going to be for you and the team as a whole, kind of, just filling their shoes on the soccer field?
Yeah, they definitely did leave really big shoes to fill. I think with the talent that's coming in and the returning talent and just building that together, and I think Coach will definitely help us do that as well.
Right. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Coach Carvello, because, I mean, she seems to be a great person and a great coach. I mean, so tell me a little bit about her and how she's helped you, develop as a soccer player.
So definitely in practice, just encouraging us and giving us like the best drills, like analyzing our games and what we need individually beforehand, and prepping us each time has helped tremendously. Like on and off the field, she's always there, just a call away.
Right. Now, I want to talk a little bit, because you talked about training, and you guys have been in the off season for the past few months. So give us a little insight as to what you guys may have been doing during the off season.
Yeah. So for practice, like, we've just been working a lot on our individual skills and like our tactics, just moving the ball around, getting our first touchdown, simple stuff like that. And in the weight room as well, just our strength and our agility, just picking that back up so that once summertime comes around and we can train hard or train with any of the teams that we're going to be playing with back home, so that we're ready to come in for preseason.
Right. And going back to talking about you specifically, because, I mean, you have to be, some special talent to be named captain, right, in your first year being here. So how has that been for you, being named captain in your first year being here, and knowing that you are responsible for some of the other players on the team?
It was an honor when Coach called me. It's a great group of girls, and they definitely helped me in my year, just being more comfortable and building confidence. And I think just feeding off of their energy has just helped me become a good leader.
Right. Now, I want to talk a little bit about next season, because, I mean, it's going to be some big expectations come next season. I mean, you guys won the SWAC championship before you got here. This would have been their second SWAC championship in 3 years.
Yes.
So how is it going to be come next season, and trying to fulfill those expectations?
I think it's just the little things that we do, just making those small goals along the way, I know that we'll be able to get the job done, and the talent that we're going to bring in and with the returning players as well, just gelling that together and playing will be good.
Right. Now, I guess my last question to you would be, because I've had the opportunity to talk with a few players from the soccer team, and one thing that I always find pretty interesting hearing from them is what was going through their head when Kalia Brown kicked that game-winning penalty kick. So I want to hear that from you. What was going through your mind and you know, during that penalty kick?
Definitely the nerves were there.
Okay.
I definitely knew that she would make it. The nerves were there. We were all holding each other, and when she put it away, it was just like a relief feeling. Just seeing, like, it was very emotional, honestly, just to see like all the hard work throughout the season pay off. It was a good feeling.
Right. I mean, that's you're honestly telling the truth right there, because I mean, I remember being there and just seeing her hit that game-winning kick to win the SWAC championship. I mean, it was a moment like no other. I mean, the whole crowd came on the field. I couldn't imagine how that was for you, you know, just being a part of that type of excitement. But I mean, Ms. Howell, it was great talking with you. I mean, we're all fans of the soccer team over here. The soccer team is such a great team, you know, with players like yourself returning. So we can't wait to see what the soccer team has coming up for next season. And that was Ms. Megan Howell from the soccer team. And this has been another edition of PVMU's Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Caleb Carter. Thanks for watching.